Hello everybody, Xanathar here, and today I am doing a review for Gigantis the Fire Monster, or realistically, Godzilla Raids Again, the English dub version of it. Why the English dub? Because I'm more familiar with the English dub. I grew up with this movie, so I want to do a review of it. So let's get into this. Now I have to apologize because this plot about the plot is gonna be a little bit more distant. I just rewatched the movie just now, and I can't for the life of me remember the main characters' names. So I'm just gonna call the first main character number 1, and the secondary main character number 2, and then his girlfriend, basically. Main character number 1's girlfriend. So let's get into it. The film opens up with basically nuclear bomb stop footage and talking about space travel, and then you meet the two pilots, and then they one of them need to land because he was running out of gas, and they both land, they're talking for a bit, and then they see Gigantis and Gigantis. I'm really going to be stretching up to Godzilla and Gigantis in this review, so yeah. But anyways, you see Godzilla and Gigantis fighting, and then they both go into the water. And then eventually they both fly out there, the two main characters, and they tell people about what they saw, and you see Dr. Mani, and he talks about the Winter Godzilla attacking Japan, and he got killed by the Ocean Destroyer, and you learn a bit about Gigantis, and then eventually they try to look for him, they drop bombs everywhere, and then they can't find him, so they think that either they are both dead, and they start celebrating, and everything seems peaceful, but then Gigantis is spotted, and they lure him away from these flails, and then these criminals was going to prison, basically, broke out and stole a car and started driving away, and police were chasing them, and eventually they crash their car, and a bunch of fire happened, and that lured Gigantis to the city, and Gigantis started attacking the city, and then eventually Gigantis came and then started fighting Godzilla, and eventually Godzilla killed Gigantis by biting his neck, and then setting Gigantis on fire, and then Godzilla left, and the whole of city was basically destroyed, basically. Then a couple of months go by, it seems like now it's December, because there's a bunch of snow everywhere, and everything seems a bit more peaceful again. And you basically find out Gigantis was spotted again. They start looking for him, and eventually they find Gigantis, the main character number 1, and then secondary main character comes to him and stays there to watch Gigantis while he tells other people where Gigantis is. And then he lures a bunch of military people to where Gigantis is, where basically Gigantis is in this big icy, snowy sort of thing, and they start shooting at him, and then the secondary main character says, "You will die now," and flies his plane down and gets shot by Godzilla with his atomic breath, and crash lands. I don't know what you're trying to do there, but yeah. And then the main character gets the idea to do an avalanche to bury Godzilla in the ice, and basically they grab some order cans, they're blowing them up, and they're shooting missiles everywhere, and Godzilla gets buried by ice, and everything is now happy. Yeah, so that's the basic plot. Now we get into the review portion. What did I like about this movie? I really like seeing Dr. Mani in this movie, especially seeing him talk about the Winter Godzilla and Dr. Sarasawa, and the Ocean Destroyer. I thought that was very, very cool. But it kind of made no sense in the American version of Gigantis the Fire Monster, because Gigantis is not supposed to be a sequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters. The Japanese versions are sequels, but with the American version, they're supposed to be the separate things, and it makes no sense, kinda. But I do like seeing Dr. Mani, I thought that was very cool. Now we get into the characters. None of the characters I liked, except maybe Dr. Mani, but he only appears for a bit. Yeah, all the characters are very bland, very boring. I bet he was very confused by the secondary main character. I think there's a love triangle going on, like the original, where the secondary main character loves the main character's girlfriend, and he carries a photo of her, but it don't look like her. It could look like a young girl. It's kind of creepy in a way. Now we get into the special effects. I really don't like the special effects in this movie. I really don't like the Godzilla suit. It looked like the 1954 suit got hit by a car and then got a very shitty surgeon do plastic surgery over it, and there you go, got the 55 suit. It looked awful. I don't like the 55 suit. It's just ugly looking. The only suit I really liked is Anguirus' suit because it's new and different and that kind of looks cool. I especially don't like the fact they sped up the footage. It just made it look more goofy. I especially don't like the music. They cut out all the Japanese music and replaced it with just generic American music, and it's just not good. I just don't like it. One thing I really hated in this movie was so confusing with Godzilla's and Anguirus' wars, because they swapped them. Godzilla was warring like Anguirus, and Anguirus was warring like Godzilla, but then sometimes it was switched back, and it was very confusing. Now I talked about the dubbing. The dubbing is just very bad. I don't like the dubbing in this movie at all. It sounds very bad, it sounds very weird. Some lines are very weird, especially this line.
Banana oil.
So that's pretty much it for this review. I give this movie a 4 out of 10. I don't really like this movie too much. I like the Japanese one a lot more. So yeah. Okay. Like and subscribe, Xanaphar, out.